Caitlin Clark says, how do you say bang in Portuguese? It don't matter! Bang! For a preseason game, they flew up from Brazil, lost by 64, and got to make TikToks with Caitlin Clark after the game. Where do I sign up? Bang! Not sure why they played the game in Iowa, because Caitlin Clark, she was still shooting the shot from South America, baby! Bang!
Again, Caitlin Clark walks onto the court like she owns the air in the arena, and Brazil can feel the energy shift. Their legs suddenly weigh a ton, and their defense starts looking like it's on Wi-Fi delay, with Boom Logo 3, not from the arc, not from the volleyball line, but somewhere near Rio, spiritually at least. This is just a preseason game, but it feels like a finals moment.
The team were lining up to get autographs. She signed their jerseys. They were getting them to sign. They were getting her to sign their jerseys. She was signing the players' jerseys. This is like Dream Team. This is literally like Dream Team stuff. We haven't seen this since the damn Dream Team. She is literally signing the jerseys of teams she played against. She is signing their jerseys. They're that much in awe of her.
Caitlin's not even playing for a ring. She's playing like she's defending a crown no one handed her, but everyone knows she wears. People swear it was from the edge of the coach's box. One angle makes it look like she borrowed space from the scorer's table. The ref didn't blow the whistle because he was too busy watching. The crowd didn't cheer at first. They paused, trying to process what had just happened. Then the sound came like a wave. Not because the shot went in, but because they knew this game just changed. Clark's not dribbling with ego. She's dribbling with purpose. There's a difference. The ball's an extension of her instinct. It's almost eerie how she sees the court like she downloaded a cheat code before tip-off. Opposing players move like they're in slow motion, and Caitlin's playing in 5G. She doesn't just see plays before they happen. She creates them like a chess master 3 moves ahead, but with a jump shot that bends physics. Brazil's players, young, full of fire, and wearing the yellow and green with pride, get schooled. Not just on the scoreboard, a humble 64-point blowout, nothing too flashy, but on what it means to witness greatness in real time. They fly thousands of miles for this game, and by the final buzzer, they're not walking away frustrated or embarrassed. They're walking away as fans, phones out, eyes wide, heart rates elevated. They're lining up not to fight for a rebound, but for an autograph. Caitlin's autograph. This wasn't just about basketball, it was about myth meeting reality. In Brazil, where soccer is a religion, basketball's a side dish. But that night, Caitlin Clark didn't just make them care, she made them believe. For some of those girls on the court, it wasn't just the best player they'd ever seen. It was the first time they felt like women's hoops could be this electric. And when they walked off the court, they weren't dragging their feet. They were walking taller. Because Caitlin didn't humiliate them, she elevated them. She showed them what's possible. For some, it lit a fire. For others, it opened a door. It wasn't just Brazil witnessing Clark, it was Brazil awakening to the new standard. You can lose by 60 and still win inspiration. She's not giving post-game comments about how the team gelled. She's giving out Sharpie blessings like she's the Pope of the paint. The players are grinning like they just met their childhood hero. Because they did. Even their coach, a guy who's probably seen more basketball in his life than he has birthday cakes, is standing there, awestruck, gushing about her game as if she's the reincarnation of MJ with a ponytail. This ain't lip service. This is reverence. He's not just praising her skills, he's praising her existence. The man's voice cracked. This wasn't coach-a-speak. This was a confession. A lifetime of games, whistles, and rotations. And suddenly he's stammering like he just saw art in motion. She's generational, he said. And when someone asked if he meant talent or timing, he nodded. Both. One Brazilian player, eyes still wide from the game, called her dad on FaceTime from the tunnel. "Pai," she said, tears in her voice. "I just played against her." Her teammates gathered around, laughing, showing their autographs like gold. That's the kind of night it was. The kind that makes your younger self scream from the inside. And Caitlin is just taking it all in with that low-key smile, like she's as surprised as anyone. Did that just happen? Yes, Caitlin. Yes, it did. Brazil just made you their honorary point guard. Forget Neymar. Tonight, it's all about Clark. Outside the arena, kids were bouncing imaginary basketballs, mimicking her logo shot with their backpacks. Twitter, or X, whatever we're calling it now, was ablaze. Who is she? From fans in Tokyo. Why isn't this on prime time? From viewers in Madrid. ESPN didn't need to post the clip. It posted itself millions of times over.
Brazil, their coaching had no answer whatsoever for Caitlin Clark. and they threw so many different looks at her. Like, I've never seen a team throw so many different looks at a play.
Meanwhile, the internet's not sleeping on this. Clips are flying, photos surface of Caitlyn signing not her jersey, but theirs. Opponents' jerseys. That's Dream Team stuff. We're talking Larry, Magic, MJ level vibes. And no, that's not a metaphor. This is literally the kind of thing that happened with the actual Dream Team. Players from other countries standing in line just for the chance to say, I played against you and I'm proud of it. In the locker room later, one Brazilian guard stared at her signed shoe like it was a museum piece. She didn't want to wear it. She wanted to frame it. This wasn't just a preseason memory, but it was a career milestone. This, she said in an interview, is the moment I started believing I could make it. And over in the shadows, Angel Reese, watching, fuming. And look, Angel isn't a side character. She's a star, a champion, a powerhouse. She's carried teams, built brands, and stared down giants. But pride's a heavy backpack, and when the spotlight tilts, it doesn't just hurt your stats, it bruises your ego. Watching Brazil swoon for someone else, that hits different. Yeah, she played Brazil too, days before. Same squad, same arena, same opportunity, but not the same energy. No jersey signings, no warm, starry-eyed, you changed the game compliments. No goosebumps from a national coach, no bang, just vibes and some light cardio. Angel Reese, the same player who prides herself on being that girl, is left scrolling through social media, watching Brazil fall head over heels for Caitlin Clark. And she's not taking it well. She's blocking fans, throwing shade on Twitter, pretending like the entire moment isn't eating her alive from the inside out. Because it is. Caitlyn doesn't need to say a word. She doesn't need a tweet. Her response is on the scoreboard. It's in the highlight reels. It's in the respect she earns, not demands. While some players campaign to be the moment, Caitlin Clark creates the moment. She's not out here trying to go viral. She is the virus, infecting every arena with undeniable, unstoppable, can't look away brilliance. Even broadcasters were stumbling over their words, unsure whether to call it basketball or a cinematic experience. One Brazilian commentator, mid-broadcast, just said "meu Deus" and laughed in disbelief. That wasn't a play, that was a declaration. Caitlin Clark doesn't break the rules, but she stretches them until the game becomes something new. There's a shift happening, and Caitlin's the axis. For decades, women's basketball has been building, quietly, steadily, brick by brick, but every movement needs a spark, a flashpoint, and she might just be it. Not because she asked to be, but because the world can't look away. Brazil saw it. They felt it. The kind of presence that shifts the court 5 degrees in her direction. She's not asking for the spotlight. She's standing in it so naturally, you forget there's anything else worth watching. You think they'd stop her with full court pressure or junk defenses or triple teams. Please. She pulls up from the parking lot and lands it with a flick. By the third quarter, defenders stop lunging. They hesitate, just for a second, but that's enough. Caitlyn's not just hitting shots, she's planting doubt. Every possession becomes a coin toss between hope and fear. And fear wins more often than not. And while she's doing this, Brazil's players are literally practicing their moves in warm-ups, trying to shoot like her, laughing about it. Then by the end of the game, treating her like a once-in-a-lifetime concert act they just got front row seats to. Phones out, jerseys off, smiles locked in. They weren't just beaten, they were blessed. One of the Brazilian guards, just 19, whispered to her teammate after the game, "I want to play in the WNBA now." That's what Caitlyn does. She doesn't just drop buckets, she drops possibilities, new dreams, new ceilings. This wasn't just Caitlyn showing off, it was Caitlyn showing up for every girl who's ever had to justify why she plays. For every dusty court in a village where a kid dribbles a cracked ball, hoping someone notices. Clark noticed. She made the court bigger for everyone. There's a reason girls in different countries now lower their voices in awe when they say her name. She's not just showing what women's basketball can be, she's showing what it should be. Bold, joyous, impossible. She's not playing to prove the doubters wrong, she's playing to prove the dreamers right.
The team she played against last night, and I understand a lot of this team was young, but the team she played against last night, getting pictures with Caitlin Clark at the end of the game, having her literally sign their jerseys, and those jerseys, you better believe the coach of the rival team being in shock. Like, this is the dream team. This is the dream team. This is the opponents getting pictures with the dream team.
The coach didn't just say, "She's good." He spoke about her like he had just seen a UFO. This wasn't post-game politeness. This was awesome. This was a man who's coached 100 players and knows when something is different. Caitlin Clark is different. She doesn't just run plays. She orchestrates symphonies. 1 minute, she's threading a pass so precise it needs its GPS. Next, she's pulling up from 36 feet like it's a layup drill. And the arena? It's not a crowd, it's her orchestra pit. She raises her hand. The fans rise. She nods another assist, another crescendo. You don't just watch Caitlin Clark, you are conducted by her. And all this in 18 minutes. Not even a full episode of your favorite sitcom. In less than an hour, she redefined the meaning of a preseason game. It wasn't about who won. That was decided by halftime. It was about what we witnessed. And what did we witness? A masterclass. It wasn't even supposed to matter. Just a warm-up, a box to check before the real games begin. But Caitlin is on the floor, and nothing feels optional. Every pass feels scripted. Every move feels destined. Somehow she makes even dead time feel like destiny. Angel Reese didn't get that moment. Not from Brazil, not from their coach, not from their fans. Because she's trying to force feed her legacy through quotes and attitude, while Caitlin Clark just goes out and earns it. Reese had her chance. Same court, same opportunity, but what Clark delivered wasn't just stats. And it was magic. Reese brought fire, Caitlin brought thunder, and wrote scripture with every possession. Even silence bows to her. The kind of hush that follows genius when awe is louder than applause. It's not about being loud, it's about being felt. And Clark's presence isn't just noticed, it echoes over and over, game after game. She signs jerseys not because it's a PR move, but because people want her signature like it's basketball currency. One player handed her a jersey with shaky hands. Caitlin smiled, asked for her name, and signed it with a heart. That clip, it looped 100,000 times within the hour. Not because it was flashy, but because it was human. The GOAT moment that hugged back. Let's be real. Respect like that doesn't come from filters and photo shoots. It comes from dropping a logo 3 times without blinking, from turning opponents into admirers, from making an entire national team, a country known for its love of soccer, pause and go, nah, basketball's it, she's it. Caitlin doesn't change the scoreboard, she changes the room. When she's on the floor, defenders look hesitant, teammates look faster, coaches look, well, like they're witnessing something that makes them reconsider everything they thought they knew. Her presence elevates everything. There was a moment in the third after yet another absurd 3 when the gym went quiet, not stunned, reverent, like everyone. We collectively decided to pause, not to catch our breath, but to respect the art. That's not basketball, that's something more. The arena wasn't just a venue, it was a cathedral. What happened that night wasn't gameplay, it was gospel. When Caitlin raised her arm after a shot, it wasn't a celebration, but it was communion. And everyone in that gym, from security guards to national scouts, left a little more converted than when they arrived. Angel Reese, she's got every right to be proud of her game. She's tough, she's talented, she's made her kind of noise. But there's a difference between noise and music. Caitlin Clark plays like a symphony in motion. Reese is still stuck on the intro track. It's not hate, it's not jealousy, it's recognition of a hierarchy. Reese plays with hunger, but Caitlin plays with vision. One is chasing legacy, the other is building it in real time, brick by brick, highlight by highlight, without asking for permission or applause. That's why the Brazil team didn't mob Reese. That's why no dancing feet were stomping with joy after her game. No one left with an autograph from her stitched onto their heart. Caitlin walks in and the whole arena becomes a stage for greatness. She exits and people start Googling how to say bang in Portuguese. By the time the arena lights dimmed, Brazil's team wasn't the only one changed. Coaches, fans, reporters, and everyone were buzzing about one truth. They hadn't just witnessed a performance, they'd witnessed a shift in the sport, and Caitlin Clark was the fault line. And it's not about rivalry. This isn't pitting women against each other. It's about impact, global impact. Caitlin's not just a player, she's a force. She's making the world care about women's basketball in a way it hasn't in decades. Not with drama, with dominance.
I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and you know, they have a great impact on me too, and you know, that's why you do it, you know. even at the end of the day, say I scored 0 points, I'm sure they still would have been there screaming my name and wanting an autograph. And I think that just really kind of puts into perspective the impact. And, you know, there's a lot more bigger things in life than basketball.
When Brazil's players were dancing on her logo before the game, it looked bold, it looked confident, but by the time the final buzzer hit, it just looked like a mistake. A bold move turned into viral regret because Caitlin Clark saw the dancing. Then she stepped onto that logo and turned it into a launch pad. In Spain, girls are practicing logo threes. In Africa, coaches are breaking down their film in youth clinics. In high schools across the US, guards are changing their numbers to 22. She's not just influencing games, she's reshaping them. Brazil didn't just lose a game, they gained a memory, a moment, a signature they'll tell stories about. I was there. I played against her. She signed my jersey. Not every player gets that. Not every player deserves it, but Caitlin does. While Angel Reese quotes interviews about how she'll be remembered in 20 years, Caitlin's already cementing that memory right now. In real time, in gym after gym, in country after country, and not by talking about it, by being about it. Because the thing is, when Caitlin Clark walks off the court, she doesn't just leave a score behind. She leaves a legacy. Legacies aren't always loud. Sometimes they glide in, one three-pointer at a time. But make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is rewriting what greatness looks like, not in statements or sound bites, but in the way people feel when she plays. Inspired, changed. Now hit that subscribe button and don't miss the next moments.